I'll share on my Prime.
Hello, everybody. Happy Motivational Monday. I am Miss Nightlife.
And I am Pioneer the Poet.
And together we are Southern Comfort, Black Girl Podcast, and Poetry. How y'all doing on this beautiful day?
It was nice today, too.
It was, well, I was traveling.
So we've been in a heat wave. It has been...
Tell me about it.
The thing I loved about moving to D.C. was the Indian summer, so to speak, because it's not really hot during the summers like it is in Florida. It's been terrible. Like, bad hot. Today, it was like 80. The wind was blowing. It was nice.
It was a nice day today.
I liked it today.
Well, listen. I was traveling most of the day.
How was that?
I mean, it was fine because I wasn't driving, so it was good.
I road tripped with you and I did all the driving.
So you know what I was doing?
Yes, I know what you were doing.
What was that?
On your phone, your feet were up. You were scrolling through Facebook, looking out the window, talking, turning up the music, hogging the radio. Yeah,
and sleeping.
I did not mention the sleeping.
Listen. I've had a week 3 weeks with the grandbaby.
How was that?
Oh, it was so
beautiful brown
beautiful
babies.
reminder of why God only blessed me with one child.
Amen. Amen.
All right, so listen. You know
grab your drinks.
Grab your drinks. Well, mine's is finished already. That's not good.
So I'm sad, right? Because, it's our Buy Black, All Black Everything episode. So I had my custom Pioneer the Poet cup from Kay's Custom Creations. It had the beautiful script on it. My favorite color is blue. And it had the glitter stem on the bottom. My mother, bless her, was washing it for me.
Uh-oh.
And she broke it.
Oh, no.
So Kay's Custom Creations, if you are watching this, my mother broke my cup.
No way. I'm sure that it was an accident.
It was a complete accident. She felt so bad. You could tell she felt bad about it. She was like, had her lip poked out like one of the babies.
Aww.
You could really tell that she was
moved.
Hurt.
Yeah.
She was. But I was sad.
Well, it's always a wonderful time to patronize Black-owned businesses.
Yes, it is.
Hey, we're going to be needing another cup, and I need one for myself. I'm sure I haven't seen this cup.
You have.
I have.
If you come by the house, I usually drink wine out of it. It's got the blue,
it's a
glitter
wine
blue
glass.
stem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to need one of those cups, Kay. So, listen, this is our...
I like episodes like this.
For us, by us.
First of all, I miss FUBU because in 2001 I had some dope FUBU shirts. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me I wasn't fresh. Ninth grade was the first year I actually wore name brand honey, and I was FUBU down.
Listen.
I miss FUBU. Carl Kanai.
Cross colors. Tell me
what cross colors, girl.
Okay.
I have the short joints with the vertical stripes and all the
what?
Oh my gosh. I had cross colors.
Thought I was crisscrossing my cross
with my Jodeci boots on and my slouch socks.
Ooh, yeah. Listen.
Yes. I miss it.
So, y'all, check this out. We're here. We're joking, we're having fun. Of course, we find light in every cloud. And so we're here to talk about, remember we've been talking everything all black, especially about black women.
This is a black podcast.
This is a very black,
this is a
blackity black podcast. And so we've been talking about ways, we're talking about a marathon.
Yes.
And so there are different legs. And so we're talking about a new leg today.
Yes.
We've peacefully protested.
We have.
We've even begun, some of us have even begun to physically fight back. Amen. I'm not upset with that.
I love to see it. The end.
And, you know, however grand and gesture that is, it isn't sustainable for the long-term outcome we want, which is equity. I'm not even, I'm equality, sure. I guess that will come with equity, but we want to be.
We want to buy back our blocks.
We want to buy back our blocks without having to deal with
redlining,
in government bullying, in oppression, in
gentrification, in the wrong type of way.
So you know, I'm okay with defunding the police.
Absolutely.
I just think it needs to be, you know,
those funds need to be reallocated. Yeah, they've been defunding schools.
Yeah. We're not.
Why do you think you have to buy
tonight.
16 pencils, 25 packs of erasers? Why do you think that is?
So that you can supply the other students in the classroom who
your
may or
school
may not.
does that. Your school doesn't have the funding to supply it.
Nope.
So, but you know, that's a topic for another day.
A topic for another day, which probably will be coming very soon.
Very, very soon.
So listen. Economic action is our next step. This is
sustainable economic action.
Sustainable economic action. Boycotting, circulating black dollars in the black community in every place possible. So as the U.S. moves to phase 2 of reopening, minus Texas and Louisiana and several of those southern
Florida.
States.
Stop it.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Wash your hands, wear your mask if you have to go out. Like, I would like to see the numbers stop moving to make that's what would make me hopeful.
We are heading into
I don't know about this vaccine because I don't know that I would take it. It
hasn't gone through enough testing and stuff yet. Vaccines take years to develop.
But then we're getting into the business of capitalism, right?
Oh, honey. Capitalism is a disease.
And so, you know.
But you know.
That's another conversation. But check this out. As the U.S. moves to phase 2 of reopening, so do we. We've had Blackout Tuesday, the Buy Black campaigns. Juneteenth was a great day. Those were 3 different days. But we need to make this the norm. We need to move forward in making this the norm. You know, you have your critics, your skeptics that will say, people even say that buying black will still give money outside of our communities when it concerns, you know, shipping, mass production, and all those things for.
And that's on a larger scale.
On the larger scale.
Right. The suppliers. Now we're going into the suppliers.
And that goes into the whole systematic, you know, the oppression part, the racism, the just everything. And so my thing has always been, why do we keep asking for permission?
Here's the thing. We're entering this marathon that has already been going on. They're laps ahead of us, and we're just getting in the race. Every time we try to get in, somebody Nancy Kerrigan us and knock us in the knees.
But we're smart.
I'm
not equipped in community planning. I'm not equipped in politics and in all of those things, because I choose not to be. I would be a totally different person if I were.
Everybody has their lane, however.
You know, but I would like to know. So if you're listening, call us in.
I wish were watching, because they're actually very well versed in that.
Explain it in layman's terms.
Yeah. Absolutely, they're very well versed in it.
So we need that. But what we do have today joining us is a few business owners that have, you know, different areas of expertise, and they're going to share their experiences, talk about the products and things that they that they offer.
Okay.
And I didn't want this to just be another I have a business episode. I wanted this to be a conversation, a first-hand exchange about that. So be sure to call in if you're listening to us or tuned in on Facebook Live, and you want to provide some input, share an experience. Give us a call at 515-605-9706 and press 1 to share your thoughts and speak with us.
Or if you're watching live, drop them in the comments.
Drop them
in
the comments.
Answer the questions as best we can, or we'll find a way to answer them.
Yes, absolutely. And either my paper got all mixed up or I'm missing a sheet. But nonetheless, before we go any further, I want us to pay a few bills. Because, housekeeping. We have to pay some bills. It's important for us to do that. And so today's episode of Magic Monday Motivation is sponsored by Whispering Roots Hair Care Products and Lauren's Music Institute, who she provides personalized music instruction that captures the heart and soul of music, where simplicity meets genius. For music and voice lesson inquiries, visit LorenMusicInstitute.com. Those links will be dropped later. And so, again, 515-605-9706 to talk to us. So, you ready to dig in?
Let's dig in.
All right.
I'm Barbara Walters, and this is 2020. I've been waiting to say that all day.
Hello there. So, if you know me and you've watched enough, then you know that I like facts. You can't argue a fact. I mean, you can definitely use your opinion to try to sway the fact, but a fact is a fact is a fact.
True.
And one fact is that black buying power is approximately $1 trillion, with estimates placing it close to $2 trillion by the end of this year.
And that's just black.
That's
buying
just black
power.
buying power.
Okay.
Making us one of the largest economies in the world, according to the World Bank, the 15th largest economy in the world in terms of gross domestic product, GDP.
So, when they talk about us withdrawing our dollars from the economy, it will have an impact, a real live impact.
A definite impact.
We have to be strategic with it, and we have to do it in a way that would actually make a difference. We can't just do it for one day.
No, or 3 days.
Or 4 days.
We trying to make this the norm,
Exactly.
And so, to do that, we have to, that's why we're having this conversation. That's why we are engaged in this exchange here, because, listen to this. We are younger on average than other ethnic groups in America, making us the definers of mainstream culture. We are the influencers.
Of course.
Waving an enormous wand over how Americans spend their money. There's an author named Maggie Anderson who did a TED Talk, and she was the brainchild behind the empowerment experiment, which explains that a dollar circulates in Asian communities for up to 28 days, in Jewish communities for nearly 20 days, in white communities for 17 days, and in Hispanic communities for 7 days. Yet, in the black community, a dollar circulates for only 6 hours. You heard that?
Girl.
6 hours. How can this be when we have over $1 trillion in buying power? For one, things that we have to consider, these gains haven't been as widespread as needed, and black unemployment stays 4 times higher than whites. I want to go ahead. I think this would be a great time to bring in
6 hours.
Our
not 6 days.
Yeah.
Not 6 weeks. 6 hours. So essentially, you get it and you give it. And that's
6 hours.
That's almost immediate.
6 hours.
Okay, I got my paycheck, and now I'm going to.
Because what do? The first thing that we do is pay bills.
Of course.
Buy groceries.
Amen.
We're not shopping at a black-owned grocery store.
Where are they?
They are there.
They are there, but they are very few and far between.
There are some here there is one here in Maryland, I believe.
Okay.
If it's not in Maryland, it's in the
vicinity.
tri-state area.
Okay.
But I will attempt, if you're listening out there, look up the name of the black-owned market. It's in I've seen it posted in one of my business groups, and so I would like to share the name of that if you are in this area. Maybe if not, you can order online or something, but even that gets into a little deeper conversation. So I want to, before I get on my soapbox and my wine glass is not full, I want to bring in our first guest.
Okay.
We have a few guests today, like I said, to share their expertise, and so we are going to, as soon as he calls in, we'll get him online. But while we're waiting, I want to say this: the reason for black unemployment and absence of black economic revolution is the lack of black businesses. There are several of us, true enough, but we aren't spending with us. This stems from an overall lack of money available to start them, the lack of consumers who spend money on black-owned businesses, and the money spent with black businesses working in partnership with other businesses. So, like I said, the money we at some point it goes outside of us.
Does it start with the business loans?
If are they coming from black banks? I need to look for the statistics on that.
I'm not sure if they're coming from black banks, but the banks owned by our counterparts aren't lending to us.
Ooh. If you have experience with that, please call in and share that with us. But right now, I'm going to bring on our first guest, Mr. Gary O'Neill.
You can do it. I believe in you today.
Mr. O'Neill, can you hear me? Oh, wait. Let me unmute. Mr. O'Neill, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Great.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
On the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being here with us. So, this is what I know about Mr. O'Neill. He is a business and life coach. And so, who better than to share? And I'm sure that's not all encompassing of what he does and who he is. So, Mr. O'Neill, because I absolutely could not do this any justice, will you please tell our listeners, my partner and myself, who you are and what advice do you have for us today?
Oh, absolutely. All right. So to begin, my name is Gary O'Neill. I am a professional life and business coach. Outside of being a professional life and business coach, I'm a motivational speaker. I like to call myself a serial entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses that I own. And outside of that, I look and, encourage and invigorate people that want to start businesses, whether they are starting one or they are looking to, they want to grow their business. So that's what I do.
Okay.
I do have a podcast as well. So that's just a couple of things that I do.
Come on.
Nice. Now, on your podcast, are you giving? Is it life coach, more life coaching, or more business coaching, or a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. My show is entitled the C Plan Do Show. C Plan Do is my tagline, my mantra, my ideology, which is see what you want to do, plan it out, and then do it. So, I always say C Plan Do. While it's a very easy phrase, it is, it's about really just doing it. So we talk about all types of stuff. We talk about information, education, motivation, buffalo wings, and all types of funny stuff. Yeah.
I like buffalo wings. Those are good.
Yeah. Okay. I like C Plan Do because it's it's absolutely, as an educator, I'm an educator. As an educator, that's, you kind of have to take that into planning. What are the children going to see, and what is your plans? You said see, plan, do. What are they going to do? That's, we start with the end in mind, and so based on what they're going to do, we consider what they see and the plan for execution. So I absolutely love that, because I'm actually going to use it. I may even invite you in if we get back to school to speak to my students regarding just those 3 words. Even in this early time, they're 9 and 10-year-olds. So yeah, I love that, because it's a call to action. It's accountability, and the understanding that things will be okay, right? You have to work. You have to work. Faith without work is dead. It's what I've been taught.
Yep, I firmly believe that, and I believe that history has shown us that you cannot get what you want if you don't work for it. Okay. You ladies have your show right now. I have a show. We're all doing what we want to do. So whether somebody is doing what they want to do or not doing what they want to do, they have ultimately a whole hand in what happens. We can't control certain things that happen to us, but we are totally 100% in control of what we think, what we say, and what we do.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a few questions for you, Ms. O'Neal. As a business coach, what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur?
All right, so that's I love that question. So the first thing I would say, I always give people, when they first come to me about starting a business, whatever it is, the 2 questions that I always want to pose, and this is for your listeners, before you even jump out here with the business, the first thing I want you to answer is these 2 questions. First question, is what you're offering needed in society? Mm-hmm. And so the person says yes, great, right? And the second question is, will this make you money? So you should be able to answer those. You should be able to answer yes to those 2 questions. Because if you say yes, if you say no, this isn't needed, then you won't make money. And if you say yes, it's needed, but no, I won't make money, then what are we doing? So that's the first thing. It's just understanding that what you're trying to do. What is your end game in mind? What is your vision statement? Which is ultimately, what do you want to do? What is your mission statement? How am I going to get there? So I would say, the first thing is just identifying what you ultimately want to do. Flesh it out. See, we just can't simply say, hey, we want to do this. Like, you ladies have this show today. So you took time, probably in pre-production, to have a meeting about this show, just like, tomorrow when I have my show. I've already mapped it out. So just take a moment and just flesh it out. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Who is involved? Okay, what will you be doing? And, that's the first thing, is just fleshing it out. Once you flesh it out, now you need to start putting in the work. The great thing about Al Gore's internet is that everything that you've done, if you're not the first person, somebody has done it. So, Uber came out and they were first, and they were great. And then next thing you know, Lyft came out. Now you have all these other ride-share programs. So the next thing is doing your research and development. Don't just jump out here and be like, yeah, I'm doing this, without proper research and development. That's something I can't stress enough, is that some people jump out here and they get caught up in the emotion of starting a business, and then they just sort of ride that emotional wave without putting together actual planning and work. It takes money, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes a mentality to do this.
Okay.
So that would be so if I was to break it down, the first thing is identify what you want to do. Flesh it out. What is it that I want to do? Then once you flesh it out, put those pieces together and research and development. Like, that's the biggest, it's so many things that people can do that unfortunately they fail at because they don't research. They don't research on why this isn't working. And if you're researching, simply just asking yourself 3 questions. If you look at, I always tell my clients to look up 5 people that are doing what you're doing, whether they're global or they're small market, and ask yourself, hey, what are they doing that I like? Like, we can cherry pick on these things. What are they doing that I like? So you can go to 3 websites. If somebody wants to start their own radio show, they can listen to yours, they can listen to mine, they can listen to somebody else. Say, hey, what do I like about these shows?
Mm-hmm.
What don't I like? What don't I like about the show? Right? Or what don't I like about what I'm seeing?
Mm.
And the third thing is, how am I going to be different? And if you can answer that third thing, then you'll be successful.
Nice. Thank you for that. I agree. I'm a planner. I'm an avid planner. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's to my detriment because I overplan, but I'm a planner nonetheless. And so I wholeheartedly research. You have to have the numbers. You have to make it make sense before you invest your time and your energy. All right. So my next question, Mr. O'Neal, is, in your opinion, what hinders the flow and return of the black dollar beyond the alleged 6 hours?
Now, first you can call me Gary. It's fine. We're all family.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So, what I really like that question. All right. The answer to that question is, one, there is a deep-seated idea of distrust in the black community. We don't trust. We don't trust each other, which is why it's so easy for us to go out and not support our family and friends because we know them, and there's some type of level of distrust. So the money that should be staying home, the money that we should have 100 Black Wall Street. Unfortunately, we don't trust each other, and because we don't trust each other, we look at the alternatives. All right, and so that's one part from we don't trust each other. Also, we have to make sure that we're A1. I just recently did a workshop on customer service for the culture, and I came out with this because a lot of people that want to support blacks, that want to support our culture, that black dollar is extremely important. We're seeing now, how things are happening. We have to make sure that as a business that we are at the best. Professionalism is not a black or white thing or it's not a cultural thing. It's just you should be professional. I own a CPR company. If a person comes to me and says, hey, Gary, I'm coming to you because you're black, great. But that's not going to be the reason why they stay. They're going to stay because I'm professional. I'm the best at what I do.
Yes.
So we have to make sure that and we have to understand that, us being entrepreneurs, and what I mean by us as black people, is that it's very young. You have to think about other cultures. They didn't have a head start. If you go to the Asian market, their children are probably there, just chilling, right? Where we have to work on it. But outside of that, we have to make sure that as a business, that we are getting the trust of our community. So certain things like, just being professional, that's the biggest thing, is that not being professional, not answering phone calls, not answering emails, having, these exaggerated prices at times on how we're talking to people. Like, those things can add to the distrust of our people, and integration happened years ago. So we do think at times that major companies are right. We acknowledge the Walmarts to treat us wrong. We acknowledge that the other companies treat us wrong, but the nanosecond that a black business does something like that, we're immediately going right to social media, and you're going to see a consumer say, this is why I don't deal with black business. Not that they're saying, hey, I don't like that Walmart on that road, or I don't like this corner store. The second that a person has an issue with a black business, we immediately want to return to social media and say, hey, this is why I don't rock with black business. Even though they're family and friends, they have black business. Even though that obviously is a blanketed statement, right? And so that distrust causes a lot of problems with people putting money in, which is why when we see, like nowadays, it's great, it's good, but now we're turning the tide in people wanting to support black people. Well, we got to make sure we're ready, which is why I came out with that workshop. We got to make sure we're ready, right? We can't just say, all right, I'm ready for you guys, and then you don't have them. That's not going to work. You don't have a website. We can't call you.
Mm-hmm.
I just got my hair cut the other day, and my barber was arguing with his coworkers about having a phone in the shop and saying we don't need it. Like, I'm pretty sure if I went to a white barber shop, I wouldn't, because, you know, I need to make sure I look right. But I'm pretty sure, like, professionalism is key. So we have to make sure that we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Being ready can establish trust, right? Just like if we're in a relationship. We're the black consumer in a black business. We're in a relationship. And right now it's sort of dysfunctional. We see where people scam people. We see it. So we got to make sure that we constantly are alleviating the fears of the black consumer. And we're making sure we're professional. We're making sure we're doing everything we can do. And that way we can, you know, if something happens, we can make sure to just isolate it. But we're very quick to push out the dollar. As you said 6 hours?
Yes, 6 hours.
Yes, we don't. Yeah, we got to put more community. We got to put the in the middle of the word community is you.
Mm.
So we got to put you back in the community, which means that we're not going anywhere. The great thing about what's happening now is that literally outside of the Walmart or a black supermarket, anything that you want can come from a black-owned business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I want, from water to services, goods, all these different things. Everything that I've wanted, and I've been doing this for a while, they come from black-owned. So we got to get that out there. We got to make sure we promote and not let it be trendy. See, right now it can be trendy. It shouldn't be trendy, but it can be trendy. Because sometimes what happens, unfortunately, is that the consumer who patronizes the black business, they will use the idea of the black business as a punishment to white companies. Or let's not say white companies. Let's just say different culture companies. Mm-hmm. So instead of us just going black right now, if something happens, then we're like, oh, you know what? We need to shop black. You should have been shopping black from the get-go. And so we just got to make sure that we take care of that relationship, that as a black business, that we're doing everything we possibly can, consume, you know, making sure we have quality products, making sure that our rates are great. I just saw somebody have, you know, they were trying to sell crabs that were like in exhausting and over-exaggerated amounts. You can't do that.
Right.
So we got to make sure that we have a big business mentality, which means that Verizon can't air me out. And sometimes I'm late with my Verizon bill. Now I'm on auto pay, so now I'm good. But Verizon can't go on social media and say, hey, some people are not paying their bill.
Right.
So we got to make sure that we keep ourselves as a business, and we have to work on that relationship. Consumers, too. Mm-hmm. You can't just have one issue happen with one black business, and next thing you know, you're going to social media.
Absolutely.
Or not telling that business what happened, so at least they can try to correct themselves. Right. Now, bad businesses doesn't know color, right? Bad business doesn't know color.
That's right.
But if you have an issue with a black business, tell them. Don't just go to social media and tell them what's going on. Mm-hmm. And if they still just say, well, I don't care, then that's when you can do what anybody else would do. Go, you know, log a complaint, you know, go to their pages and complain, whatever we need to do. But we just gotta, the first thing is establishing trust from the black business and the black consumer. We gotta have that trust there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much for that. I grabbed a pen while you were talking to take notes because I agree with you. We are stuck in, you know, as African Americans in the chicken or egg scenario, that speaking to that distrust that we have. We refuse to spend our money because we automatically, and all of that to me is systemic, you know, effects of the where we are and how we, you know, all of that stuff. But I think that we kind of keep it. We do it to ourselves. Like you said, I love that you said that in the center of community is you. And so, you know, thank you for that. You dropped an amazing set of jewels with us.
I think as black consumers, we can be very hard on black businesses as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give the corporations chance after chance after chance to mess up.
Feeling like it's our only choice.
We still will patronize them, but a black business messes up one time, and now we don't want to go anymore.
Right.
Why are we so hard on our own?
Because we've been taught that.
We have been taught that.
Like, we gotta take a step back and say, why are we like that? I'll give you a real quick, and this is an experiment that's, you can look it up. All right, they had, there was an experiment that some scientists they wanted to do an experiment with some monkeys in a cage, yeah? Mm-hmm. And so what they did was, they had and you can look this up, they had a ladder, and over top of the ladder, there was a banana, right? Okay. So what would happen is, whatever animal would go up there and get the banana, the scientists would then squirt the other animals with water. And they would get upset. So they kept doing this, right? To where the minute that a monkey went up there and got the banana, he got beaten up by the other animals.
Wow.
So they kept doing it. They kept doing it, right? Now watch this. They would start systematically taking out. They would stop doing it now, and they would start taking out one animal. So let's say it was like 5 monkeys in there. So they would systematically start taking out one animal at a time, right? They didn't even squirt them with water anymore. So now, where you got to a point where the minute that a monkey grabbed the banana, you just had monkeys who had never been squirted with water, who had never been exposed to it. Now they're upset, and they don't know why they're upset.
Whoa.
So we got to realize that, like, integration for real, like, was really one of the worst outside of slavery and crack in the 80s. Integration hurt us.
Yes,
because now we have a complex against black people. Now we have a complex. We have a complex. It's a reason why some young entrepreneurs, when they come to me, they're upset because they realize that, wow, my family doesn't support me. Mm-hmm. There's literally nothing that should be happening that black people can't fund. There's nothing. Like, we should be able to, a family member should come to you and say, hey, I want to start this business. And you're like, okay, how much it costs? And your family should get together and be able to do it. Your family and friends should be able to do it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. But unfortunately, and this is going to be a generalization, it doesn't mean for every family, but we will likely go to help a family member who has been in jail or unfortunately died. Now we want to get together and rally around unfortunate situations, but not when somebody wants to start a business.
I agree.
It's a reason why you could easily get $100,000 to $200,000 school loan and not get a $15,000 business loan. You see, it's why would the people who are in charge allow you the tools to win? That's not going to work like that.
Right.
So, yes. But we got to realize that we have the tools. It's us. We don't. I do not. Right now, I'm contemplating. I want to be able to get with people and we make a black supermarket. We don't have that right now. There are some in the world, but it's clearly not enough, right? We need our own black Walmart. We don't have those things yet. We need a black Target. We don't have those things yet, right? You know, but we gotta be better with the trust, and that means that, hey, you know what? The second that it's easy for people to go back and blast social media, even if they've had 10 great black experiences. Great, they're great. Yep. That one shows up. I've seen it. I've seen it happen last week. I saw a person who has even utilized me for services. They've been disappointed by 2 businesses, and next thing you know, they're just blasting black businesses. And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we just gotta do better at that, and it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time from us, the black business. We have to make sure. Again, I know I keep saying it, but we gotta make sure we're professional.
Yes,
not
sir.
using our blackness as some type of path to give subpar behavior.
Right.
Like, we can't do that.
We do that.
Because you're black and I'm black doesn't mean that you get to show up late.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you come to me like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. That doesn't mean that. And if something is wrong, how are you fixing it? I had a colleague I know. She hired a black carpet cleaner. She wanted to do this, and they were just horrible. And when she called the owner about it, you know, he was like, okay, we apologize. but where is the trying to make it right?
Right. There's no solution. Yeah, I agree.
So, and later on, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about the customer being the most important visitor on the premises. I love that quote. People think it came from Gandhi, but it didn't come from him. But we can talk about that later. But yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to bring on another guest just to kind of talk to us about it. Mr. Gary, stay on with us. We want to definitely get into the customer conversation and the expectations, but I'm going to bring on Mr. LaCarlo Beatty, who he does a plethora of things, but I'm most notable in highlighting black businesses and discussing black buying power, and because I'm actually in the market for this service, is he provides a self-defense course for black women. And I just, I think that as black buying power grows, racial profiling and all these situations, I've just seen in Maryland last week where the black lady had an issue with her son. Well, they went to a restaurant and the son couldn't get in because he had on t-shirts and a pair of shorts.
Oh, but then they showed the little white kids
already
running.
There. They were getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Meaning that they'd been there. And so just the kind of thing. And so I'm very protective of black women because I am a black woman, and I just, I have this thing that I believe we are not protected at all or enough. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring you Mr. Beatty in. Thank you, Mr. Beatty, for waiting patiently.
Beatty or Beatty?
Is it? I think it's Beatty, but Mr. LaCarlo, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Is it Beatty or Beatty?
It's Beatty. Yeah,
Beatty.
Correctly. I get a lot of Beatties or some other pronunciation, but yeah, it's Beatty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here today with us. I hope your Monday has been productive.
Oh, it has. I got some things done today. So I'm a bit of a planner. So
nice.
Make sure I'm productive and not busy.
Nice. So, Mr. Beatty, tell us about yourself and, more about your defense classes and all the things that you do.
Okay. So I teach self-defense classes, mainly for women. I've been doing it for about 5 years now. I also do, I would say, personal coaching, not necessarily life, but or life or business, but I'm a person who likes results. So it's kind of like, what do you want to do? And then we get there.
Okay.
It can be, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, we're going to lose 20 pounds, or whatever the case may be. I do that. I also do like health coaching, work with people to lose weight or, mindset, that kind of thing. And I'm also, in the daytime, I'm an engineer. So, the daytime job and the things that I do on the side are kind of opposites. So I've been training mixed martial arts for about 13 years.
Wow.
And that's how I got into teaching self-defense classes, because I noticed that a lot of women don't take classes. And it started off really just doing kind of private lessons, but then it grew into group classes because I seen the need for it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last, I'd say 2 years, 3 years, my main focus has been like colleges and like high schools, that age range from like 16 to 20ish, because it's that group is at a greater risk of seeing some type of, intimate partner violence or sexual assault and things of those natures. Because, when you turn 16, you get your driver's license, now you think, oh, I'm grown, I can go do what I want to do and explore the world. But the one thing most kids don't learn is how to recognize and defend themselves, you know?
Right. Okay. Okay, so you work, closely with your customers, right? And so
Yeah.
as a business owner, especially providing a service it's a very intimate, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable and all of those things. What has customer service been like for you as a business owner?
Oh, for me, I really took the avenue of give more than expected.
Okay.
I like
So, if typically I do a 2-hour workshop. And for me, I put as much as much information as I can without giving too much, But then I hang around and I answer questions and things of that nature. I actually wrote a book on safety. I don't necessarily sell it, but whenever I do a class, I give it to everybody that shows up.
Nice. That's excellent branding.
So they everybody can take a book with them.
Okay.
And it talks about and the book really just answers all the questions that I've gotten over the years. So I put a little statistics in there, any questions that I had gotten over the years, and they typically repeat themselves. So I say, okay, I'm always asked this question, I'm gonna put it in the book.
Nice.
So this way when I'm teaching a class, I can just teach the class. And if they ask me a question, I can say, hey, it's gonna be in the book.
Okay.
That answer.
Yeah, like I said, that's an amazing marketing, branding strategy. So maybe you should publish it for people who
Absolutely.
are too busy to take the course or getting
too
around
far away.
or too far away
Right.
to taking the course. So yeah. Now, as a Black woman, I know that we can be a bit coercive and demanding at times. And so my question to you as working, you don't think so?
I didn't say nothing.
Listen, I can say that because that's true for me. And so as a business owner, would you say that among your consumers, primarily Black women, because of the service you offer, would you say that expectations are higher for you?
For me, I'm not sure if that's really the case because I don't know many people that do what I do.
Nah.
So, I'm in an area, I know of a few people that teach classes, but I travel. So let's say if you're in D.C. and you got 15 people that want to train, I'll meet you Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So, I travel and I don't have my own location, so that's how I'm building my business. So if you want something like I offer, other than myself, I'm not necessarily sure who you're going to call.
Right.
There are gyms that have that do women's self-defense classes, but it's at the gym. You got to come on this Saturday at this gym. But I found it to be easier to come to you.
Right. Okay. I like that.
I've done classes in Richmond. It just works better for them to all be in one location and then I show up versus having them come to me.
I like that the flexibility of it all, and then of course it gives you an edge because you are traveling. So I would imagine it's a bit different because there is nobody else to call. So just to let you know, I will be calling you to arrange. I'm putting together a series of things specifically targeting Black women, and self-defense is one of them.
I'm there for it.
And so we will be giving you a call. Mr. Betty, I thank you for joining us tonight. Tell our listeners where they can find you, I've posted a flyer that I was kind of, I pulled from your page today. But if you have a website, a phone number, any social media accounts that you would like to give, so that if they're listening, they can follow up with you and kind of book some things.
Okay, yes. So I can be found on Facebook or Instagram. On Instagram is Nicolo_Beatty, and on Facebook is Nicolo Beatty Coaching. That's my business page. And my phone number is 443-402-6093. Or you can email me at info@LicarloBeatty.com.
Perfect.
We'll put all of that in the description.
Yeah, we will add that to our to our live broadcast, and of course we will put it on our YouTube channel for this particular episode. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And I'll be in touch with you in the next few days, actually.
Okay. Let me know. We can work it out.
Yes, sir. It will happen. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. All right. So listen, if you need some self-defense courses, or you would like to join what's happening over here with me, please let me know. We will post those links. Before we go on, I want to get back to Mr. O'Neal. No, he's here.
443, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
he's here.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
So.
Oh, wow. See, look at that. See, she tried to count me out.
No, I knew you were here.
She works the switchboard way better than I do, so I'm going to just hush and stay in my lane.
So, customer service. Before we brought on Mr. Beatty, Mr. O'Neal said something about customer service. So, talk to us about that. What share your insight.
All right. So, again, like we talked about, for us to establish trust with ourselves in the Black community, we gotta step up. And so, customer service is the biggest part of starting a business. And so, I taught leadership for customer service for M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, and that's, they're getting 70-something thousand people every NFL Sunday. And when I first got there to teach their training, they were like, out of all these different teams, they were like bottom 5. And so we worked on it. And so the biggest thing that we had to let people know is that customer service is the first impression. We need to have the first impression, whether it's something like having a website, right? Or just having basic stuff. But I want to read a quote really quickly that I always would read to any person that, even in my trainings. And it goes, the customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He's not an outsider of our business. He is a part of it. We're not doing him a favor by serving him. He's doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so, right? And that's something that's something that I express to people for the years and years and years, that when you get into becoming a business owner, you are serving your customers. It's not about them serving you. Like, you're getting what you want from them, but you have to make sure that you understand that this is a servant business. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't have it that way. Some people think, I have my business because they're very new. And, sometimes people have narcissistic mentalities when it comes to having a business, that they can talk aggressively to their customers. They can't do that. You can't talk aggressively to your customers. We have to make sure that we're professional. And that's just key things, like being on time, communicating, having a call to action. Like, hey, how can I reach you, right? And having it in professional manners. Like, how can I reach you? If I want to order something, how can I order? those are just basic things. Just making sure that we show up in literal sense, and just being the best that we can be, offering the best opportunities, the best products, the best services, and just creating more of an aha moment or a huh moment, which is more like, let's say that you have a person who's leery about dealing with a black business.
Mm-hmm.
They've heard the scam stories, they've heard the negative ideas, and then they get with the company and it's like, this is pretty cool. I'm going to keep going back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we just got to make sure we're on point.
Yes, sir. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Gary. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners where they can find more information about you, your podcast, because we're definitely we broadcast tomorrow, so I know I'm definitely tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us some information about your where we can find your podcast?
Absolutely. So to start my life coaching site, you can always check me out at www.Gary O'Neal Jr. That's GARRYONEALJR.com. I'm on all social media platforms. If you Google Gary O'Neal, I'll come up. My podcast is called the C Plan View Podcast. That's every Tuesday. I stream live on social media, right on Facebook. And if you go to the C Plan View page on Facebook, you'll see how you can check me out on YouTube, as well as on all of the major platforms like not Tidal, but Shopify. I'm sorry,
Spotify,
Google Podcast, Pandora, all those platforms. So if you click on that link, you'll have access to all of them. And that's every Tuesday, 7 p.m. And that's when we show the vibes.
All right. Well, I will be in tomorrow, calling in or tuned in for sure tomorrow. I thank you for joining us and sharing your works with us. I will definitely be reaching out for some C Plan Do things, because I have a couple of new ideas that requires work. That's a new thing for me. Reaching outside of myself to get the help and the experience that I need from someone else. So I got a few things that I need your help with.
You got it.
All right.
The first step is just saying, hey, you know what? How can I get outside of myself? How can I get out of my own ego
Mm-hmm.
and acknowledge and understand that often, if it's in the chair, it's in the room. My favorite life coach, Robert Pruitt, coined that phrase. And it means that we literally are probably one person away from getting what we want.
Mm.
We're one person away. So by you contacting me, you hit me up, I hopefully I have the answers for you, but I like to think that I'm a resource so that way if I don't know what it is, I know that it's probably 10 people who do know it.
Yes.
So you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to know the smartest people, and that's it. So I definitely look forward to that call. I definitely love to have you guys on the show so we can chop it up and talk about wings and your favorite Martin episode. Or
yes.
Amazing amount of things.
Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. And I will be in touch with you soon. Thank you, Gary.
Yep. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Oh, child. That was a...
So he dropped some real jewels.
Listen, my paper full over here.
I saw you. I'm glad you were taking notes because I was figuring out the sound, but that's all right.
Yes. Listen.
He literally dropped some really good stuff.
Listen, we needed that information because he mentioned the shortage of businesses, the distrust that episode all by itself.
When he said that we don't trust each other, I'm like,
why do you think that is? Come on, give me some truth.
This is the thing, though. Okay, so his example of basically what is systemic was so spot on. Because it takes you to the people who get online and they blast, she didn't do this right. She, did this, she did that. But where are the glowing reviews? I recently had, I went to a Facebook brand new business. She is making soaps. It's called Makeshift and Curated. So I'm like, okay. Friends of mine were raving about it. I'm like, I know her. Let me go ahead and order the soap. Order the soap, and I left one in my cart, and it didn't load when I went to pay. She sent me a personal message and asked if it was something that I wanted because she noticed it was still there. Of course I wanted it. I didn't mean to leave it. It was literally moving fast, trying to get it because it sells out quickly. And she sent me a personal link so that I could go ahead and purchase it without having to pay shipping twice. To me, it was the most smallest detail, but I felt like I mattered in that moment. That to me builds trust. If I see your business on Instagram, Facebook, we get a lot of comments up underneath our stuff. Hey, I do XYZ, and we reach out to you, and the first thing I get is attitude. I'm already like, oh, okay.
Listen, I'm
sweet by nature, and I don't know how to move forward. I'm not gonna blast you personally just because that's not how I roll. I don't like that. But it does make a difference. Good customer service stands out. As Black people, while we don't trust each other, however, when it comes to business, that is a larger scale problem that we need to start doing the work. It's like we need to unlearn behaviors that we've been taught in order to move forward with our own community.
I think that's critical. I mean, like I said, we as we've discussed, we have a gang of businesses, a gang of service providers, a gang of products that we can choose from. We already know that it's $1 trillion buying power within our community, but in order to build that trust, because we need that trust to talk about on a larger scale, to talk about mass production, to talk about drop shipping.
And this is the thing, because it is a trend now, we need to give our Black businesses a little bit of leeway, y'all. I've seen people raging about the shipping time that it's taking. But if Lakeisha is making this in her kitchen and shipping it to you from her living room, she doesn't have the mass production scale that goes out from a larger corporation. Give her a chance to get all of your packages in her car, drive them to the post office. Being Black doesn't automatically equate a discount. Stop asking your friends for the homie hookup. Don't do that. In essence, you're basically pulling their business down to something as, I hate to hear this when people say, oh, so you got a little podcast. You do a little poetry. A little anything. Stop minimizing people's dreams. Don't do that. If it's, okay, case in point, I know an artist, she does beautiful paintings. When I say, there's this one particular painting I want so bad for my bedroom. I go to order it. It's way more than I can afford. Do you think I'm going to reach out to her and try to get a hookup? No. I backed out of it. I'll share it because it's free to share all day. But I'm not going to ask her for a discount for her stuff just because. I'm going to save my little coins until I can afford it, and then I'll get it. We have to stop doing that to our friends. If your friend has a business and it's nothing you ever will buy, social media is free.
Social media is free. You can always give it as gifts.
You can share it. If you can't afford what your friend is making, share it on social media. That's free.
Free, dog. Free.
Free 99. All day.
99.
I just think as Black consumers, we have to allow our Black business owners a moment to catch up. We're not giving them that. They're not Amazon. It's not coming in 2 days. Amazon has warehouses. That's from Lakeisha House. Give that woman a chance. But on that same flip side of that coin, our Black businesses also have to hold themselves accountable as well.
Well, you know, they aren't warehouses. They aren't, you know, these things. But you, as like Gary said, we have to research and be informed.
Do the work.
you know, the whole point of you starting a business is not just to start a business, but to grow the business. And in growing the business, you know how long it takes you to...
Sustainability.
Yes.
Is the key word of
yes. You know how long things take.
Right.
You don't have to personally address a customer that's been... a young lady shared on Facebook the other day about a bar that we frequent. We frequented when we were going. And
not on punishment?
Yeah, when we were not on punishment. And she posted a screenshot of where it wasn't even the owners, but she didn't know that. But he's having things at this particular... Somebody's having a thing at this particular location since bars are now open. And a client, or, potential customer said, well, no, I'm not going to come because, I'm fearful of corona, which are very fucking valid fears. Do you know that this person responded to this lady so negatively and degrading, talking about her wig? I don't even know if the lady had a wig on in the picture,
but
or the video, but that was the automatic response. So yes, I agree. There should absolutely
be accountability. Be consistent. Be all the way across the board. Understand that yes, it gets frustrating, but you have to hold yourself accountable as a business owner.
It's a business. You have to know these things. I think people get...
If you go get a job at AT&T, they make you take a what do you call those things? Customer service class, where you have to learn, what do you call it? Premier customer service. I don't subscribe to the whole notion of the customer is always right. I think that just throws a blanket over people being shits. I don't think that's a real thing. However, there has to be some sort of accountability where you as a business owner understand that while the customer may not be always right, that's how you pay your bills.
But like he said,
we had a comment earlier that I wanted to...
Yeah, there it is.
Just Jay, that's all, says, yes, being black may get us through your door, but customer service, professionalism, timeliness, fairness, etc. are what keeps us in the business.
It does.
Those are just basic things, though.
In my notes I have here, we know that there's a shortage of businesses and opportunities for us to make every experience a black-owned one. Shipping and mass production are often barriers because we're going outside, which is probably why it takes our dollar only 6 hours. Well, that's not why. I would imagine if we were mass producing or we had the resources to mass produce and ship and all of those things, it would take us a bit longer. But our money goes out in 6 hours. That means as soon as we get the check cash,
what did they say? That money burning a hole in your pocket.
So, but I do want to talk about a drop shipping company, and it is called...
Is it black owned?
It is black owned. It's called Your Black Owned Business. That's this website, yourblackownedbusiness.com.
Is it like a black Amazon?
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like an Amazon, but I do know they
all
have
Amazon is
pre-built online businesses ready for you. So I'm assuming it's similar to Amazon. It allows customers to mass produce. It allows them to ship.
Because if you imagine, you make a big, whatever you sell, you give it to them.
And
they people go to a website like Amazon, they see it, they order it, it ships right out because they have it there.
And in addition to that, they exist to increase black business. Creating a business in general is a concept that the average person may find is too complicated or confusing. They assist with that. So even if you don't have a mass production of products, but you have a product idea, they have pre-built online classes for you. Again, that is yourblackownedbusiness.com. I have not done any research. I'm just going by what it says here when I was doing my own research on black-owned drop shipping companies, on black-owned mass production companies, which I did not find specific.
Because you have to have the capital.
You have to have the capital, and
and the trust,
and the fucking trust.
Girl,
Gary talked about
that was a word in a word.
So know that minority business success is built on the interaction between opportunity structures and group characteristics. Opportunity structures include favorable market conditions, the ability to provide products and services beyond those specifically aimed specifically at ethnic markets, and the ease of business opportunities, competitive environments, and government policies. Group characteristics include selective migration, culture, aspirations, ethnic and social works, organizing capabilities, the ability to mobilize resources, and the extent to which government facilities or constrains resource acquisition by or for the group. Right? So during the 60s, this was not a favorable thing for minority entrepreneurs, but as conditions improved, so did the aggregate characteristics of minority businesses. We often hear people complain that keeping the Black-owned businesses afloat and the dollar in the community is not feasible when we use Amazon, FedEx, and the like for shipping and mass production. So please consider your Black-owned business. I mean, listen, we have to do better. We have to do better with all of that. So listen, you know what time it is. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
What time is it?
Bald-headed hoe shit. Bald-headed hoe shit.
Bald-headed hoe shit.
That always cracks me.
Bald-headed hoe shit. It is the bald-headed hoe segment.
Who is a bald-headed hoe this week?
Lady Antebellum. Do you know anything about that?
Nothing. Well, I know about what's happening.
I
may or may not know a Lady Antebellum song by...
I don't know the song.
You know how you go in the store, in the elevator or something, and they play that type of music?
Right.
That's what I imagine it may be. I'm not really sure, not really a fan. But you are a bald-headed hoe. Want to know why?
Because Lady Antebellum is suing... To be sensitive to the whole Black Lives Matter movement, they've decided to change their name to Lady A. And so they reached out to Lady A. There's an artist, a Black lady, who's been singing for over 20 years with the name Lady A because her first name is Anitra, something like that. And so she goes, her artist name is Lady A.
Okay.
And so when Lady Antebellum reached out to her and said, hey, we're going to use this name, she was like, oh, no problem. That'll be $10 million. Because, you know, we should be getting our coinage. We should be getting our coinage. Listen. So... Lady Antebellum says, well, yeah, no, we're not going to give you $10 million. And how about we just sue you for your name? Like, what kind of
the caucasity of that? Because not only is that a their song? I don't know.
No,
what that
it is not. It is a commercial.
Oh, well.
That is not ours. It is not that was not a paid promotion.
So let me get this straight. You had a problematic name when you came out. You knew your name was problematic, but you kept it anyway. You make your little music. And now that you decided to do your performative activism because, you know, it's trendy.
It's trendy.
You want to sue another woman, a Black woman at that, for a name she has had since 1987?
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how this plays out. I really and truly, I really and truly am. Oh my God! Listen, it's time to close the show. It's just time to close the dang on show. Thank y'all for tuning in to Magic Monday Motivation on the Southern Comfort Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Links to our YouTube channel will be featured. You can also just simply go and search Southern Comfort Podcast Poetry on YouTube. You can follow us here on Facebook at Southern Comfort 19, Instagram at Soul Comfort 19. We are everywhere. We working on some things. So I'm gonna sing us a song because
I'm gonna let you today because
I should sing the song. Was it bad, girl? Oh God, was it bad, girl? You know, listen, it's some stuff going on over here. Y'all gonna have to tune into the YouTube video to get the conversation about these bloopers that, you know, if you weren't paying attention, you might have missed them. But listen, I got a song. This girl, sure enough, works hard for the money.
Oh, we still got 15 minutes. What are you talking about?
Oh, we do?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, listen, I'm trying to close the shop. I'm trying to close the shop early, y'all, because it's a whole lot of wardrobe malfunctioning going on.
A whole lot.
Listen, so, you know, I mean.
Oh. Anyway. I am.
Talk to us. You got somebody I was going to close out without you talking
Oh
about.
my God, yes.
Lady.
Yes. Girl, I'm over here crying. Okay, we back.
Okay, we back. Yep.
It's a whole. We gonna end this real soon.
Real soon.
I wanted to highlight a black forager. So I've been doing a lot of research on how to live off the grid, simply because I don't know if y'all know, but the world is broken. And I don't think it's going to fix itself. So I feel like the zombie apocalypse is coming. I think that all the people we laughed at all those years were actually onto something. But anyway, I've been looking up a lot of ways to live off the grid. However, on the app that is problematic, and we'll talk about problematic apps one episode, but TikTok, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm on TikTok, but I don't make videos. I just look at other people's. But on TikTok, there is a young lady by the name of Alexis Nicole with a K, Nikole, and she is a forager, and she literally walks through her neighborhood and shows you how to cook and eat plants that you find along the way. Like things that we see that I thought was weeds and problematic, she's actually well versed in what they are, what they do, and I've seen her make jams, jellies, sauteed stuff, like, and I know I get it because I have a few vegan friends and I look at certain things they do, and you know, they fry the mushrooms up and it looks like fried chicken and they say it tastes like fried chicken. I'm not really sure because I eat fried chicken, so but seeing her actually pull from, you know, what you find in the neighborhoods, and she's very conscious of not over, because you know we see stuff and we tend to want all of it, but she's very much so knowing when the bees are pollinating and what they need, and she takes only what she needs at that moment, and she cooks whole meals from what she finds. Like I saw her take the roots of something and open them up, and it was like white inside, and she sauteed them down and had like an actual meal. Wow. So if you are like me and like to lurk on TikTok, or if you have a TikTok page, or if you just want to look her up, her name is Alexis Nicole with a K, all one word, Nikole. It is very interesting. She is really, she looks like she's sweet. Like we'd be cool in my head.
Okay. I mean, she's a forager, so that
she's a forager. She's very
rooted.
She looks like she was born in the wrong era. Like she would have been a black hippie. She totally would have been a black. Y'all would get along.
You think I'm a black hippie?
I think you're a black hippie.
Really?
I do.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're a black hippie.
Oh, that's a compliment. That's
Let's discuss it.
well then. Dang.
Yeah.
Listen, you know I love all things indigenous. I love. I'm not as well versed as I should be, but I love knowing people that are.
The information is there.
It is.
Listen, black people, but black women, we are hella creative. We are hella resourceful. Like, that's all you can say. Because,
well, I would like to highlight a black-owned business.
Mm-hmm. Who we got?
I'm not certain of the name right now. I just know the services that's been provided in a clutch. I'm talking nails, makeup, hair, toes. Listen. If you've been around me long enough, then you know I like to walk with my shoes off everywhere, especially outside. And so, they get a little rough, and you got to go to work on Myra's feet, right?
You got to go to work on Myra's
feet. We haven't decided a name yet. But Pioneer, for those of you, because I see black people, women posting all the time, we'll tag a black nail tech, tag a black makeup artist, and I have no name to tag. So, I just don't tag the name, right? And so, yeah, we help us come up with the name for Pioneers Esthetician Services. And
I'm like a Jill of all trades, though.
Mobile.
I do everything based on what I'm feeling. Right now it's nails because I was home.
Listen,
it's
we
makeup
can do this
for my friends I like to call. It's hair when I feel like it. Like, nobody has touched my locks in a minute. But
so you need a loctician. She need a loctician, but why y'all get
I do my own locks.
Oh, well, you said nobody's touched your hair.
I was saying that because I do my own hair. Yeah. The thing about with me in business is, it's not necessarily a trust of customers, because I've done the salon thing. I've worked in salons and I had my own station. I did all of that. I like to make women feel good. Don't give me that look.
So she totally should be mobile. Yes.
I could be mobile.
Yes, she would need some assistance.
So I like to make women feel good. But I get overwhelmed very easily. And if I see where it starts to get demanding, where it doesn't feel good to me anymore, I believe in exchange of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in your hair, or I'm on your face, or I'm doing your nails or your feet, there has to be a really good energy flowing. If I feel stressed,
mm-hmm.
you're not going to have a good experience, because now our energy is at war.
Mm-hmm.
If you came in ready to relax and I'm not relaxed, you're now not relaxed. So I don't know. For me, it has to fall into the words correctly.
Listen, we need a name. We'll work out the kinks when we get the name. Because then the name will help us guide us to what it will look like. But we definitely need that. So I got about 7 minutes or so, 7.5 minutes. My song is going to take approximately 5 minutes.
You were going to sing for 5 minutes?
I might.
So it has been wonderful. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like I said, I love this episode because I'm all about, I've been really consciously buying black.
I should have some tea makers. I need some tea.
Especially during COVID, but then when the world exploded and people started drawing lines in the sand, I have really been taking notice, and I've made sure to, anytime I can take my black ass dollars to another black ass business, I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it.
So just know this. Check us out on YouTube.
Yes.
This video, the live footage video, will be edited and made into something pretty because we are branding. And added to YouTube, so stay tuned for those links.
Support a black business. Subscribe to our YouTube. There
subscribe.
You go.
I'm just trying to get 100 followers at this point.
We
need should
our
totally
numbers.
have 100
we
followers at this point.
We're gonna do the work.
We've been doing the work.
What did he say? Do it, plan it, be it.
Yeah, keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep bothering y'all about not bothering you, encouraging you.
There we go.
To do something smart, like subscribe to our YouTube channel, Southern Comfort Poetry and Podcast.
What's our email? If you have a question, you have a topic, you want to ask us something, we will keep you anonymous if you so choose. If not, we will tell the world.
It is SoComfort19@gmail.com.
Shoot us an email.
Shoot us an email. Make us get a website beyond our EPK.
Because we are artists.
We are definitely.
We are still artists.
So yeah. I'm gonna go on and show y'all, share this a little of this artistry with you.
Thank y'all for hanging with us. For our guest tonight, thank you so much for your
Gary
knowledge.
O'Neal.
Yes. And Mr. Beatty.
And Mr. LaCarlo Beatty, both GaryO'NealJr.com, GaryOnealjr.com. He has a podcast. Tune in with us tomorrow. C Plan Do, Tuesday, 7 p.m. I'm going to assume that's Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, Mr. LaCarlo Beatty.
I keep saying Beatty. It's Beatty.
It is Mr. LaCarlo Beatty.
We are going to arm ourselves and,
And his information is LaCarlo Beatty on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And his email is, Instagram is LaCarlo_Beatty. And the email is info@LaCarloBeatty.com. So reach out for self-defense. I will be posting more information once I put together my Protect Black Women package, which will include self-defense classes, licensure, concealed handgun licensures, and all of that stuff. And then I have to add one more element, probably something to attend to our feminine divine.
Which we have to get our hiking meditation trip together.
Hiking meditation trip, that could be a piece of it.
We will be social distance though.
Social
I don't want the Rona.
No. Okay, so we done dwindled down, and you done took most of my song time away. She knew what she was doing, but here we go, y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you so much for watching.
Tonight.
Come back next week and join us for our next episode. We will be back here with our same shenanigans. We love you all so much, and we mean it. And now,
a beautiful rendition
for your listening pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what happened?
They not feeling it either.
Aw, that sucks. What happened? Let me turn this up. What is going on? This is crazy. Is Mercury in retrograde?
I think
because
so.
all these things keep pulling
that
up.
cute video came back around of the guy playing the little
I don't know. That wasn't an era. That was a Blog Talk Radio era. But my
the video came back around with the guy who's like playing the little keyboard, the all caps. That thing is funny at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep. I don't care what you're talking about.
I don't know what happened to She Works Hard for the Money, but I got it. Donna Summers was the bomb. Don't you agree? You ain't Donna Summers.
Oh God, y'all can leave us now.
No, don't leave. I have a song. You should listen. Listen to this song. It is beautiful. My voice is well rested.
Yeah, we know your voice is well rested because you didn't drive.
So y'all dance with me.
Forever.
Sing with me.
In the dark.
Oh.
Lit by a single flame.
A single flame, honey. Just know that this single flame.
Donna Summers was fine. She was a little hun.
She had the little whip action going on because I'm about to channel all it.
I don't even have any more wine. I hope y'all still drinking. I'm gonna do like this.
Me either. She was hard for the money, so hard for it, honey. She was hard for the money, so you better treat her right. Hey. She was hard for the money. So hard for the money. Oh, for the honey.
She was so hard for it, honey.
Hey. Treat her right, y'all. Good night.
Thank y'all for watching. Good night.
So come forth.
Oh, Jesus.